Welcome back to DVC Weekly. This is episode 196.
Getting close to 200.
Yes. My name is Jay Storpelding. I'm the broker of Buy and Sell DVC. I'm here with Scott Ferrioli.
I'm the owner of DVC-Rental.com and BuyandSellDVC.com.
And today is November 6, 2024. The 11th month window then is October 6th. And the 7th month window is June 6, 2025. So if you want that Vero Beach reservation that first week of June, right after the kids get out, you're going to have to compete with me because right now is time to book it. And we're going to go right into the buy and sell side of things. And we're going to talk about something that if you live in Florida, it is going to affect you at some point in your residency. And that is, the question was asked, as a DVC Vacation Club owner of Disney Vacation Club, or no, as a Disney Vacation Club owner or Disney Vacation Club renter, how many times has the weather in Florida affected your DVC reservation? Never was 56 votes, 70% of the people never. Once, 18%, 14 votes. 2 to 5 times, 10 votes. More than 5 times, 1 vote. And affected my DVC reservation in South Carolina at the Hilton Head Island Resort. That was 1 vote, 1%.
I wonder if that more than 5 times is somebody who's like lives in Canada or something, like where the weather by them is what affected it, not the weather in Florida. It was specifically said the weather in Florida affected it 5 or more times. That's a lot for somebody to have. I mean, there's only one person who said it, but that's a lot.
And really, I just want to say that I've been in. Just from my own personal experience, I've been in Orlando since December of '97. And been through, I would tell you, I want to say that I evacuated for a hurricane. I think that was in the late 90s still. That was with my wife, and my father-in-law told us to go to some place down in Fort Myers. And I picked up keys at some office down in Fort Myers. Somebody's just handing me keys to a stranger's house. And we went there, so...
What kind of back alley deal was this, man?
But I will say that I don't ever recommend evacuating from Orlando because first, the traffic is just, it doesn't move. And plus, everyone on the coast, Miami on the coast, they're coming to Orlando because we're
inland.
We're inland. So, and Disney, there's a reason Disney built themselves in Orlando and not, on Miami Beach because it's pretty safe here. But I've been through everything. So, we evacuated, haven't evacuated since. One time there was a hurricane coming to Miami and the Dolphins game got moved from Sunday to Friday night against the Chiefs. So my buddy and I go to Miami on a Friday when everyone's leaving Miami. So you're going down to Miami with no one's on the turnpike, everyone's leaving, but there's an NFL game, so we figure we're safe. So everything worked out.
Who won?
The Dolphins, I believe, lost to the Chiefs, but this is like this is
a long time ago.
This is like 2005.
I figured you had all these details down. You probably knew everything about it. I figured you knew the final sure.
But I'm just saying, like, once you've been through everything, and then you're going to encounter people there's people that you're going to encounter that they have no clue that a hurricane's coming. They're just going through their job, their family, everything. They have no clue that a hurricane's coming. Some people are going to panic and buy all sorts of toilet paper and food to last them for a year. But it's very safe here. Like if power goes out, people are trying to get reservations to go to Disney because they know that the power's not going to go out, or they have backup generators, whatever they had, whether it's magic, whatever.
They have their own solar grids. Yeah. I think they're good to power.
Mickey Mouse just has to press a button and they get power. So
that's true.
It's not. I don't know if you want to add to this because I don't want. If you're here, here's some answers. Debbie Larkin Shaw in 2001 and 2017, both were September hurricanes. We have also been twice when January had temps into the 20s. Mid-2000s, and night parades were modified to protect the dancers from the extreme cold. Michelle Cunningham Mercer, we have had blizzards We have had blizzards
Yeah.
there, and hurricanes, tropical storms affect a bunch of trips. We were there in August for Debbie in one of the new cabins. Felt that thing rocking and the sound of the rain hitting the roof. Let you know that how hollow those are. That's not a really good response, but hey. Debbie Allen said, I've rode out several hurricanes while vacationing at Disney. Disney takes great care of their guests. I will say yes. I mean, we were just in Vero Beach when the hurricane was coming, or the tropical storm was coming. What was that? That was in August. I mean, so all the activities were inside. You have all this stuff going on. My family had a great time.
We rode out Hurricane Irma at Boulder Ridge. Had a wonderful time. I mean, the Disney goes out of their way. They had all the cast members like playing games and doing the DJ in the lobby, and the characters were out and dancing, and the hula hoop contest. And Disney dropped the price of all their food at the restaurants, like at Whispering Canyon. Like normally it was, I think at the time maybe it was like $35 for the unlimited buffet that they served, like the unlimited skillet. They dropped it to $15, including a drink. Like Disney goes out of their way to make sure that you're not nervous and keep the kids happy, and try not to gouge. That's what Disney tries, not to gouge you in that scenario, because everybody's locked in. They know that they're there. They can't go anywhere else. So Disney actually went out of their way to lower their prices, which I thought was really, really nice.
I mean, and I will say, I mean, the good news about a hurricane is you know about it 8 to 9 days in advance.
Yep.
The bad news about a hurricane is you know about it 8 to 9 days in advance, because some people are just gonna straight up panic for 8 days in a row, because every day they down here they show the spaghetti models. It's like when Steve Spurrier was coaching the Redskins and he had his receivers going like this. That's what the models look like. And then somebody says it's going to be a Cat 3, Cat 2, Cat 5. So, but at the end of the day, like, Scott just wants to know, how is where he lives, what's going to what are the wind speeds going to be around his house?
Yes.
And at what time and what day is that going to happen? Yes. Does Scott care about, the entire path of the hurricane? Yes. But he wants to know how it's going to affect him and when it's going to affect him.
Yes, that's true.
So
it's always tough because they never know, and stuff changes constantly, moves 12 hours here or there. Just every time there's some sort of storm, it just disrupts everything. You try your best to just accommodate everything and move along, but it's always tougher.
And I mean, for me, it gets. I mean, not maybe emotional is not the right word, but it's like it's not like everything can just shut down and everyone can just sit in their home and eat chips and salsa until the hurricane passes. I mean, these people have to, there's people Publix never closes. Like, the people that are working at Publix are working nonstop, like the Costco's, the BJ's, the Sam's.
Watch those Waffle Houses, because again, they close, that's when you know you're in trouble. That's the joke about Florida, is that if the Waffle House near you closes, that's when you need to hunker down, really, because those stay open through everything.
And then, and then you'll have a guy at the gas station filling up his gas, filling up his, 9 containers that he has. And then the guy behind him is like, that's great, but with my commute, I'm going to be filling up my gas tank like 3 more times until the hurricane even gets here. So, I mean, everyone's in a different scenario down here. So,
luckily, knock on wood, it's not normally too bad being in Central Jersey, but...
Central Jersey?
Wow, I just flashback to Jersey. Central Florida. I don't live in New Jersey anymore.
Yeah, I mean, Central, yes.
And Central Jersey, too.
I mean, you're safe in either Central Jersey or Central Florida.
Probably a little safer in Central Jersey. You get hurricanes, but not as many as Florida.
So, yes, this is...
I give up.
So, yes, people are evacuating generally to Central Florida, and you're safe here. So, on that note,
we're going to go to food of the week.
We're going to go on to the food review. Maybe Scott was at a deli in Central Jersey. Let's see.
Well, I could go for a deli right now.
Come here, I'm gonna eat you! Get in my belly!
Oh, that's right. We finally, this is a really interesting one, and I don't want you to, he has not read this yet. He doesn't know. So we finally made our way to Summerhouse on the lake, the cookie shop at Disney Springs, and we went to try a few different treats. I read some really disappointing reviews, so my expectations were probably on the low side going in there. The first one I'm going to do, it was my least favorite of the cookies. Now, I do want to mention the first thing, again, this is our first time there. We walked in the front doors of the cookie shop, and I'm sure you've been to many cookie places or bakeries. It always has that nice sweet smell of like a pastry shop. When you walk in right away, it reeked of rotting fish. I walked in, I was like, what the heck is that smell? And there's nothing you like more than having big fish smell when you walk in and you see cookies. And
how is that even possible?
The ladies that were working there were making comments about the smell too. And I'm like, yeah, I was like, it stinks in here.
Is there a prank set up on?
One of the ladies goes, oh yeah, right, and there were doors behind her, like maybe it's like part of the kitchen. She's like, oh yeah, a lot of times they prepare the fish right back there. And I'm like, it smelled like, an outdoor like fish market. Like it was a strong smell. And when you're looking at cookies, that's not the smell you want to get. You're like, it just stank in there.
Were you there with your whole family?
It was just my wife and I.
Oh, okay. Because like if we walked one of my sons, we would just be like, we're out. As soon as if that
my wife can't deal with the smell either. And I think she's a little taken aback, but we were able to push through it. It wasn't, we've smelled worse. Like, I used to work in New York, and sometimes we used to go into Chinatown and walk through. A lot of times they have like literally fish markets like right on the street in Chinatown. And it was just pungent, quite pungent. So this was nothing like that. But it was a really strong fish smell, permeating these cookies. But so what we did, first I want to mention is we tried this is the blueberry oatmeal cookie for $5.45, and this was also the most expensive cookie that we tried. It was probably about an inch thick, loaded with blueberries, so expectations gone up. It was looking really, really good. However, the cookie had barely any blueberry taste at all, and it tasted like they forgot to add sugar to the recipe. All you could taste was like unsweetened oatmeal. It just had like a
Where
plain.
was this at again? I'm so confused.
This is Summerhouse on the Lake, the Summerhouse on the Lake cookie shop at Disney Springs. It opened probably 6 months ago, I think, sometime over the summer. And it's kind of like Gideon's. Everybody was excited about this, and I had seen not great reviews on it. But I was like, I need to try it. And the cookies look absolutely fantastic, but it had like no taste to it. My wife absolutely she liked it more than me. She loves oatmeal cookies, but she didn't like it much at all either. I give this a 2.3. It was one of the most disappointing cookies I've ever had. But it was big and thick, and it looked like it was going to be wonderful. And it had like no cinnamon, no sugar, nothing on there to actually give it any taste. I mean, it could have been. It looked like a big, beautiful blueberry muffin cookie, no sugar or cinnamon, just nothing. It stunk.
So do they sell fish sandwiches as well?
There's the cookie shop. It's attached to the restaurant. So there's a restaurant there that serves, I guess, some sort of fish tacos or fish whatever. I guess they're preparing the fish. But I mean, you would have thought that we walked in there and standing at the cookie counter would have been a guy filleting fish that they just brought in off the boat in front of you. I mean, it was super, super strong. I mean, enough so that the people who were working there were talking about how bad it smelled out there. So that was my first experience ever with this place. Just walk into a cookie shop and you're expecting this, sweet smell, and it's just reeked of fish.
And now we're on to the DVC-Rental side of things.
So I just wanted to point out that we're just about to start hitting our really, really busy time of the year. So for our DVC members out there, as a reminder, we paid industry high $15 per point, which is about double what the maintenance fees are. Over the past couple of years, our competition has lowered what they're paying to $15 a point. And we understand that maintenance fees have gone up. So we're trying to keep up with the market. And as the market keeps going, points, we may end up paying more in the next year or two. But we are still paying $18 a point, which again is at the height of everyone else. Also, if you're a DVC member and if you're looking to book a cruise, we could rent out your points for you. And instead of having to pay what Disney charges a ton of points to use the cruises. You can rent out your points. We can take all that money. Technically, we don't have to send you a 1099. We could use that money, apply it to the Disney cruise for you. You'll get a lot more back for it. Also, with the travel agency that we're team up with, we could do Disney, we could do Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, Celebrity, Carnival, Princess, Holland America. It's essentially any cruise line. Adventures by Disney. We could now do all-inclusive holidays. So we could do a lot that, your points, instead of trying to transfer them into a system of Disney's to use and have them charge you a lot for it, you can pull it out of the system essentially and get a much better rate by booking outside through us. That we also not just locked into one cruise line, multiple, you've got every cruise line's itinerary, European cruises, whatever you like. We've booked several Adventure by Disneys over the past couple years as well, which is always a great option, especially if you're not using points. They're still expensive with cash, but a lot less expensive with cash. So a lot of great options to do. I just figured mention just because it's about to start getting busy, typically December, right around Christmas time, right after Christmas, through the first 7 months of the year is normally our super insane time of the year. And maintenance fees are going to be coming due as well. So now is a great time to possibly reach out to us, get those points listed with us so we can book some confirmed reservations to try to sell them faster for you. But again, our team can do all of the work for you and you can just sit back and just collect the payment.
Yeah, I just want to add, like Scott says it so, casually. He's been in business for a long time.
It's casual.
He's got a lot of members that, of course, are just having him run out their points, every year. But really, it's just like if you're not a member and you're looking to put money into, let's say you're just going through a bunch of different options, and one of the options may be a vacation home, and you want to rent out that vacation home, and then it's like, oh, okay, well, I got to find a property manager, maybe I got to find a contractor for when things break,
Constant service on your air conditioner, your pools, your
housekeeping.
I can't tell you how many times that I have a nice pool out back. How many times that there's lightning somewhere nearby, and they trip the circuits that constantly, like every couple of weeks, every 2 weeks or so, I have to go out there and flip the switch to get everything running again. Like there's so much stuff with owning a house. Like this is
and especially if you simple. Own a vacation home that you don't even live in the same state as.
Yes.
So now, if you buy the DVC, first of all, you have the points to start using to go on vacations, to make memories, go to Chef Mickey's, eat Mickey waffles, see the characters, ride the rides. But if something happens where you can't use the points, you can rent these points out. And again, I know Scott says it so casually, but it's like you can just... One thing I do want to mention is the sooner you give them the points, the better. Yes. You don't want to say, hey, here's some points, they expire in the next 3 months. No, that's not how DVC works, because there's going to be reservations that are not available. You give them the points far in advance. His team is either able to say, hey, yeah, I just found, this member needs this reservation, please book it. Or they're going to say, hey, what I need you to do is actually book this reservation, and then we're going to try and rent that reservation out that you've secured. And it's, you don't have to, it's seamless. It's, that's why this part of the DVC ownership has become so popular, is because people know that they're able to run out the points, and then you have a company like Sky, you don't have to worry about dealing with the scammers and what I need you to do is send me this and then send me this. It's like, no, you're dealing with a company, the middleman that's going to get everything taken care of by the renter, instruct you on what to do. And then doesn't matter. Do you live in, you live in Montana, you live in Canada, you live in the UK, you live in Brazil, you live in Argentina, wherever you are, it's just going to be handled.
You could be out there fly fishing in Montana while we're out securing the reservation for you and doing all the work, and then money will just show up in your bank account when you fly fishing.
It's just going to be, and that's, it's one of the great things that, popped up with DVC, and how, it's just a fantastic thing. And at the end of the day, I will tell you, not to make this episode even longer, but Disney Vacation Club love the Disney Vacation Club itself. They love the renters. They love you have this family that's renting points, and then DVC loves to try and expose them to DVC to be like, hey, what you're doing now, you just experienced DVC. You want to do it again? Here, let me show you how. Then you can even rent out your points. So
I can't tell you how many renters over the years have become DVC members after renting from us for the first time. So it's a good mutual relationship.
So thanks for tuning in.
Symbiotic.
We were here today in Central Florida, not Central Jersey.
Not Central Jersey, not fly fishing in Montana.
Next week, maybe we'll be in Central Jersey. We'll have to tune in to find out.
Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day.